Book of Villainy is a game where all the players are villains, trying to rack up the most evil deeds to win. It's a 2 to 4 player game with a runtime between 45 and 60 minutes. To learn how to play, first I'll go over the setup. There are 16 tiles which make up the board. The face shows the name and its unique ability. The back shows the destroyed version of the tile. Shuffle the tiles face down, then place them randomly in a 4x4 grid. Make sure the safe house is one of the 4 center tiles. There are 6 invention cards. Lay them out horizontally where they can be seen. Players can combine specific cards to build these inventions. Once a player builds an invention, they may take the corresponding card and use its ability permanently throughout the game. Next, take out the Arms Dealer deck. This deck helps you sabotage other players and affect the board. Take out the Encounter and Black Market deck as well. Encounter cards give you power boosts for duels, and Black Market cards help you to build inventions and misinventions. Shuffle each of the 3 decks and place them to the side, where they have enough room for discard piles. Now, take the Evil Deed and Mission decks. Evil Deeds are the cards needed to win the game. Each Evil Deed is worth a different amount of victory points, which will be added up at the end of the game. The mission cards are also worth victory points and may be collected by completing the goals on each card during the game. Shuffle both decks and place them to the opposite side of the board. Make sure to split the mission deck in half and place each half face up. The top cards are the starting missions for the game. Set the wooden cubes and pizza tokens to the side as they will be grabbed as needed. There are 4 player boards, 4 pawns, and 6 villain cards left. For a 2-player game, I'll grab the appropriate components. Place the pawns on the safe house tile. To pick the starting player, find the player who most recently ate pizza. The starting player gets first pick of their villain. Turns move clockwise. There are 6 villains, and each has a unique ability. These abilities may be used once per turn. For this game, I'll pick the victim, whose ability allows him to draw a card anytime he ends his turn without drawing. I'll also pick the genius, whose ability allows her to build inventions in 1 turn instead of 2. If you look at your player board, you'll see a space for your villain card, as well as a meter indicating your villain's power level. Place your villain card in the designated space, and take one of the red cubes and place it at the 1 on your meter. Your power level affects 2 things: duels and movement. In duels, the villain with the highest power level wins. While there are cards you may use to boost your power level during a duel, your meter reflects the base amount of power you enter a duel with. For movement, if your meter is at 2 or less, then you may move 1 space each turn. If your meter is at 3 or higher, then you may move 2 spaces each turn. This is all you need to know for setup. On your turn, you can do 4 things: move, activate a tile, activate an ability, and play cards. Movement in this game is simple. Depending on your power meter, you may move orthogonally in any direction. Once you stop on a tile, its ability is activated and resolved. You must move every turn, unless you're on a tile which requires you stand there for 2 turns. You may only activate 1 tile per turn. With the exception of the safe house, only 1 player may stay on a tile at a time. If you stop your villain on an occupied tile, you are initiating a duel. By winning a duel, you can push opposing players off of an occupied tile, boost your power level by 1, and earn 2 evil deeds. If you lose, your villain runs back to the safe house, and your power level goes down by 1. Once a duel is initiated, you want to make sure you have the highest power level in order to win. There are cards which give you temporary power boosts during duels, and you may play as many as you want on your turn. The attacking player always has to reveal their final power level first. The defending player then has one chance to respond. If they are weaker and unable to boost themselves to a higher attacking power, then the attacking player wins and kicks them off of the tile. The winner then activates the tile's ability and gains 2 evil deeds. If a duel results in a tie, the tile being fought over is destroyed, and both players are blown back to the safe house. This counts as neither a win or a loss. Your villain has a unique ability which may be used once per turn. It can be activated at any point during your turn. If you collect any invention cards, you may also use those abilities once per turn. You'll be collecting various cards throughout the game. Any cards can be played on your turn. However, certain cards may be played outside of your turn. Those cards will specify that they can be played at any time. There's no hand limit, and you may play as many cards as you want. The next player goes once all cards and abilities are resolved for your turn. The player who collects the most evil deeds wins the game. There are several ways to collect evil deeds. Dueling, you gain 2 evil deeds for winning a duel. Destruction, you can destroy tiles using certain arms dealer or encounter cards. You gain 2 evil deeds for destroying an unoccupied tile, and 3 for destroying a tile with a villain standing on it. Inventing, you can use black market cards to build inventions or misinventions. For an invention, you must combine 2 specific black market cards in order to build a unique invention. Both the invention card and the black market cards tell you what ingredients are needed to build an invention. When building an invention, you must stay on the secret lab for 2 turns. At the end of your second turn, you discard the 2 black market cards you're combining and grab the corresponding invention card. You also earn 3 evil deeds. To build a misinvention, you can combine any 2 black market cards while standing on the secret lab. These may be built in 1 turn instead of 2, and they earn you 1 evil deed instead of 3. Using Super Fleek. There are 3 types of cards in the game which must be played as soon as they're drawn. They will have the word instant on them and can be found in all 3 decks. One of the instant cards is called Super Fleek. Once drawn, you can either choose to be hit by Super Fleek and resolve the effects, or bribe Super Fleek to hit a different target. Pizza tokens allow you to bribe him and can be gained from the Pizza Palace tile. Each token is worth a certain amount of pizza, and if you're the first to draw him, you may offer him any amount of pizza as a bribe. The player you send him to must then pay more pizza than you gave in order to bribe him. This cycle continues until a player is unable to pay Super Fleek. The last player who successfully redirects Super Fleek's attack will earn 3 evil deeds. When a player is hit by Super Fleek, they're knocked back to the safe house. They can't use their villain's ability for 1 round, and they lose 1 evil deed. The amount of evil deeds a player loses can increase, however, depending on how many times Super Fleek is bribed. For each successful bribe, add 1 to the evil deed count. For example, if the hit player is the first person who drew Super Fleek and he was never bribed, then they only lose 1 evil deed. If he's bribed 4 times, however, then the hit player will lose 5 evil deeds instead of 1. The lost evil deeds are permanently removed from the game. Trapping. There are cards which allow you to destroy tiles or place roadblocks which hinder player movement. If you trap a player so they're unable to move on their turn, then you earn 5 evil deeds. The trap player must then reset to the safe house tile and end their turn. Endgame. Book of Villainy ends as soon as the last evil deed is drawn. Once that happens, Players must count the victory points listed on the bottom of their evil deed cards. Any mission cards earned must also be added to the total. The player with the highest number of evil deeds wins. As a bonus, the winner may gloat and read their completed book of villainy aloud.